So I've been working out, anyway, so today what I'm going to do in front of you today, and thanks for all of you for being here, is really launch the next generation of the unified communications vision that we have. Now, some might say, hey, Gurdeep always comes and talks about vision. He's always talking about the future. What's the stuff that he's really going to show us? What are the stuff we can use today? Well, the reality is R2 is broadly adopted. Office Communication Server 2007 is broadly adopted, and we'll talk more about that later. But now what I'm going to show you is really the next generation, which is Microsoft Communication Server 14. 14 is in quotes because that's the code name for the next generation unified communication solution from Microsoft. Everything that we've learned with 2007, with R2, all the ideas that we had to further adapt to the changing reality of the workplace, the needs of the workplace, we've reflected into this new product. This product also, like the predecessors, works with the communication systems that you already have in place. In some cases, actually enhances how it sits next to the communication systems that you have in place. But this product, perhaps even more importantly, when you are ready to move to a completely rationalized, unified communication infrastructure, will meet entire needs you have from a communication perspective. So, no, you may not want to throw away your PBX. Of course not. It's still on your books. People are still using it. You will keep it around. Communication Server 14 will sit right next to it, will work really well. But when you are ready to turn the lights off at PBX, this will be ready to pick up all the load that your previous PBX was carrying. This system is designed to work from anywhere. It's designed to be simple, both from an end user perspective and from an IT manager perspective. And the system is designed to be very, very cost effective. This system works, it's been built to work with Exchange, to work with SharePoint, and to work with Office. These are very important applications. And when we had a choice to say, should we go create another one-off on the side, we said no. Let's see where in Exchange, SharePoint, and Office this capability exists that we can go tie into or we can leverage. And I think that was a very powerful idea. Certainly our customers are telling us that that's what they would like to see because they themselves are dealing with just too much complexity on a daily basis. Communication Server 14 is designed to be an extensible platform and is designed to be interoperable. When we came here with this idea of software-powered communications, we were frankly just borrowing another page out of a book that we knew very well. Microsoft, along with an entire industry, led the transformation of mainframe-based computing to PC-based computing. Now, Microsoft didn't say, you know what, we'll sell you the hardware, we'll sell you the software, we'll sell you the services, we'll sell you the endpoints. We didn't do that. We said, we are going to play our humble role on the software platform, and there's an entire industry of folks like HP and Dell, and there's a $100, $200, $300 billion industry that truly brought the computing platform along. We didn't say, come and buy every soup and nut from us. We said, we'll focus on what we're good at, and we'll have best-of-breed players focus on what they're good at. In some ways, we're doing the same thing in the communication space. This whole idea of mainframe-era economics that plagues the communication industry is about to come to an end. And the system we got is designed to be built, is designed to do that. So, one of the things we did about 3 years ago when Jeff Rakes, who was my boss at the time, came into this keynote, he made some predictions. He said that 100 million people will be able to communicate through Office. With Communication Server 14, based on the number of licenses and the users that we have counted of Microsoft products, based on the add-ins that lots of players in the industry, including Skype, have created for Office, that is true today. 100 million people can use Office to communicate. The second prediction that he made was that the cost of VoIP systems would be half of what they were in 2007. Now, folks, later today, Alan Sulkin, which I think all of you know, is holding a session called Who Delivers the Goods? I encourage you to go visit that session because he's going to share with you the economics of Microsoft Communications Server 14, which shows that a VoIP solution based on Microsoft Communications Server 14 is indeed half of what PBX vendors are charging today and were certainly charging back in 2007. Now, some of you will say, of course, that doesn't include the phone and doesn't include this. Go check it out. It includes all those things. It's hugely transformative. The third prediction that Jeff Rakes made was that you will be able to have rich communications from anywhere. Folks, rather than me talk about it, I'd like to invite up on stage one of my colleagues, Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Gurdeep, how you doing?
Very well. Jamie, could you show us how Communication Server 14, Office Communicator, can actually, you can have rich communication and collaboration from anywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you saved the laptop here. I was a little concerned when you slid that desk all the way across the stage that I'd be having to go hunt through that stuff and actually have to find my half of my demo infrastructure here. So as Gurdeep said, Communication Server 14 is really about connecting people and connecting those people with a complete unified communications platform. And that platform works fantastic with the applications that you have today, with Exchange, and with SharePoint, and with Office. And finally, it does so with an interoperable and extensible platform, one that you can both build into and also build solutions on top of. So I'm just going to, now that my laptop is all happy, go ahead and log on in here and fire up Communicator. One of the great things you'll notice is, of course, how quickly we're going to have Communicator come up, register up into the network, and as Gurdeep said, when Communicator and Communication Server, the way that it functions is that we give the same communications capabilities to users both inside the network and outside the network. This is something that we've done for the last few releases, right? And so now what we've done with Communication Server 14 is we've extended that capability to include location information. And we've actually built that into Presence. So one of the things you'll notice here, right at the top of my Communicator window, you'll see Jamie Stark, and I'm available, and it asks to set your location. Well, this is the first time I've been on the big stage at VoiceCon here, so I get to go on here and say VoiceCon Keynote. Now, because I'm outside the corporate network, I have the ability to put in my location information. Of course, if I'm inside the corporate network, we know all the corporate network topology, we know all the wireless access points and all that other information, it'll automatically provide me a location. And what's great is that regardless if I'm inside or outside, it's going to remember that location information. And as in fact, you'll see here on my client all the different sundry places that I visited with this client, whether it's connected up to a wireless access point, whether it's connected up to my Windows phone as I'm tethered, whatever the case may be. So when I go back into that network location, even though it's outside the corporate network, the client's going to remember that and auto-populate it. So hopefully if the demo doesn't go south, when I bring this guy back, you'll actually see VoiceCon Keynote. Better. It's okay. You can settle. It's all good. So one of the other great things about this is that we actually take that location information and we publish that out into the Presence document. So right now, my contacts have the ability to see my presence information in addition to my location information when they go and they view that. And of course, just like we do with the existing versions of Communication Server, that presence information and the location can be controlled. So I know specifically who I share my presence information with and who I share my location information with. It doesn't get broadcast out everywhere.